She assumed you'd stay on the hook. She believed you'd keep waiting, confused, patient, hoping she'd circle back. But something inside you shifted. You stopped chasing. You stopped apologizing for things that weren't your fault. You didn't look for closure anymore. You became your own closure. And that silence, that calm in your soul, it's echoing louder in her mind than any message you could have sent. Because nothing confuses a woman who took you for granted more than a man who finds peace without her. She expected drama, she expected chaos. She never expected stillness. When you stop reacting and start evolving, something remarkable happens. You become a mirror, and in that reflection, she sees the version of herself that failed to appreciate you. This is the paradox. When you finally walk away not to prove a point, but to protect your peace, that's when she starts feeling the sting. Not of guilt, not of heartbreak, but of irrelevance. Every man reaches this crossroads. You gave your time. You gave your effort. You gave her the benefit of the doubt again and again. But she grew distant, colder, unreachable. You thought it was something you did. It wasn't. She wasting something deeper than your patience. She was testing your self-respect. Here's the part she didn't see coming. You passed the test not by clinging, but by letting go. Because real masculinity doesn't chase a validation. It doesn't beg. It doesn't crumble. It chooses growth over approval. It walks away when staying means self-betrayal. Let's break this transformation into 5 stoic, powerful truths every man must embrace. Number 1, understand the psychological pull of rejection. When a woman begins to distance herself, it's rarely random. Whether she's aware of it or not, she's often testing your emotional strength. In female psychology, this is called a compliance test, an instinctive strategy to measure your confidence and self-worth. If you beg, plead, or rush to prove yourself, she senses you're not centered in your masculine core. You become emotionally predictable, and predictability kills attraction. Women are drawn to men who hold firm under pressure. That means keeping your emotional equilibrium when she pulls back, gets cold, or suddenly becomes unavailable. She wants to see if your value changes based on her actions. The truth, it shouldn't. Your worth isn't determined by her attention. It's defined by your mission, values, and how you carry yourself in times of discomfort. When you understand that her rejection is often a subconscious test, you stop reacting with fear and start responding with calm certainty. You don't chase, you don't crumble, you simply observe and adjust. And when you pass that test by not playing her game, she's left wondering if maybe, just maybe, she let go of a man who didn't need her validation at all. Number 2, emotional self-control is the ultimate power. Emotional control isn't about bottling up your feelings. It's about mastering them. When a woman pulls away, your ego wants to react. It wants to text, to argue, to demand answers. But stoic strength is the ability to pause instead of pounce, to sit with your feelings without letting them dictate your actions. Women expect reactions. They're used to men blowing up, chasing, or spiraling. When the connection starts slipping, that emotional volatility reassures them that they still have control. But when you respond with composure, when you say nothing, when you calmly carry on with your life, that silence becomes deafening. She starts to overthink. Why isn't he calling? Is he really done? Did I lose him for good? What you're doing isn't a tactic. It's a transformation. You're no longer reacting from fear. You're operating from self-respect. Emotional control is how a man maintains his frame. It shows you're grounded in who you are, not swayed by approval or rejection. That's rare. That's powerful. That's what separates a high-value man from theirs. In that stillness, you don't just confuse her. You earn her respect because emotional maturity is magnetic. Number 3, turn pain into power. Heartbreak is inevitable, but suffering, that's a choice. When she pulls away, it's easy to let pain define you. Torplay the texts, the silence, the moments where you thought everything was fine until it wasn't. But that cycle of analysis and regret does more than hurt you. It weakens you. This is where Stoicism offers a path forward. Use the pain. Don't suppress it. Convert it, channel it into your purpose. Channel it into your fitness. Channel it into building a life so full, so strong, that no single person can shake your foundation. This isn't about revenge. It's not about showing her what she lost. It's about becoming someone you respect. Pain becomes power when it drives evolution. When it makes you sharper, more focused, more self-aware, every setback, every cold shoulder becomes a stepping stone to your higher self. And the best part, the moment she realizes you didn't collapse after she left, you expanded is the moment she starts feeling that hollow emptiness she thought she could handle. She was the trigger, but you are the transformation. Number 4, build a life that doesn't flinch. Women are drawn to stability, to strength, not just in body, but in energy. A man who builds his life in such a way that nothing shakes him. That man becomes rare, and rare is always valuable. Ask yourself this: if she left tomorrow, would your world collapse? If so, you're not building your life right. A powerful man doesn't anchor his life in a woman. He anchors it in mission, purpose, and discipline. He's consistent. Whether she's texting him or ghosting him, whether she's warm or cold, that consistency becomes intimidating even to her. Why? Because she realizes your emotional survival isn't tied to her presence. Your job, your health, your friendships, your goals, they thrive with or without her, and that's what flips the script. She starts wondering, why isn't he affected? Why isn't he chasing? And deep down, a woman respects the man who doesn't flinch. The man who doesn't bend every time she pulls away because you're not avoiding her. You're building you, and that's more attractive than any love note or text ever will be. Number 5, rewrite the narrative of your worth. For too long, your worth was a story she told. You waited on her text to feel good. You needed her affection to feel valuable. And when she withdrew it, you questioned everything. But here's the truth. No woman can define a man's worth unless he gives her that power. And now you're taking it back. Rewriting your worth means cutting emotional dependence at the root. It means no longer seeing yourself through her eyes, but through your own. You don't need to be chosen to feel enough. You don't need to be chased to feel powerful. You are a man who knows what he brings to the table with or without her. When you rewrite your story, you stop being a character in hers. You stop chasing a happy ending and start building a powerful beginning on your own terms. And ironically, that's what makes her look back. Not the man who begged, but the man who outgrew the version of himself that tolerated being undervalued. You're no longer auditioning. You're evolving. And that's what makes your presence unforgettable, even in your absence. So, what hurts a woman the most when she doesn't value you? It's not the things you say. It's not the games you play. It's who you become when you no longer need her. Your transformation becomes her punishment. Your peace becomes her chaos. Your silence becomes her overthinking. And your detachment that becomes her mirror. Stoicism isn't just about staying calm. It's about becoming powerful in stillness. You don't chase. You don't explain. You evolve. And by the time she realizes what she lost, you're already too far ahead.